Hear me. I wish that I could get onto the website. So, I don't know if anybody can hear me, and I hope that you can, but I just keep getting these 500 errors, internal server error. So, I can't even see if anybody's in the chat room. I'm having serious issues. Leave it to me, but maybe Spreaker's working good, and that would be good. But I'll never know because somebody shoot me a Facebook message. I'd be liking to hear that. If you guys can hear me, or if anybody's around the chat room, if anybody else could get in the chat room. It's unbelievable what's going on. I know I'm supposed to do a pregame show and all this. This is why. Easy kill. Oh, good. You hear me. Oh, good. Okay, so you hear me and I can't see you or hear or like interact with you guys. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this podcast. And it's Monday morning, the 29th of April. Nice to see you. Easy. Thanks for the message. This sucks though. I don't even... Oh, hey, I see you guys. Okay, I'm live. I'm live. Now if I could just get the chat working. Is the chat room working for you, dude? Easy? Tell me in Facebook. So it must be my computer. Maybe I'll go downstairs. I think I will go downstairs and get on Lenny's computer. But I'm on my phone doing Spreaker, so I will be able to keep you on while I walk downstairs. Just a second. Okay, going downstairs. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there, bitches. Lenny went to get the car serviced, and so that's where he is. No big emergency here. Let's see what I can do. Now I am on Lenny's computer, so just go ahead and send me a Facebook message to Lenny's account now, because I'll be at his. Let me try to pull up the chat room. Alrighty, let's see. Do we have a chat room? There we go. There's some sound. I see you guys in chat. It must be my computer. Okay, here we go. Getting ready. Let me just get my notes. Yay! Happy Monday morning. Okay, Cleveland and Houston yesterday. Okay, I know you guys saw the whole spat between Bauer and Bregman. Bregman did not find any comedy value whatsoever in Trevor Bauer's tweet from the day before when he said he dominated Bregman. I would be annoyed. I like Trevor Bauer a lot, obviously, but I would, if I was in Bregman's shoes, I would hate Trevor Bauer. Literally, I would just hate him. I would despise him. I just wouldn't like him. I would think that he's a poor sport, and so I don't have a problem with anybody if they think that what Bauer did was just ridiculous. But on the other hand, I think that it's fun, those types of trash talk in baseball and all sports and fantasy and whatever. So I don't know. Go ahead and check Twitter out. You'll see it. Trevor decided to use his bobblehead and just send this GIF, this animated image that just kept saying I dominated you, I dominated you, I dominated you. So anyway, all right. So I'm on Spreaker on my phone and the sound is good. And that's what really matters, because today we are starting our new Spreaker journey. I'll just say that, journey. But anyway, Cleveland and Houston, that was a fun series all weekend. Yesterday, Carrasco, I was pretty concerned. I mean, he still got a loss yesterday, but at least he pitched 6 2/3. So only, 4 earned runs is not great, but what we were working with was just really hoping that Carrasco wasn't injured, and it didn't seem like he was. He only gave up 1 hit until he got into the 7th inning, and then it pretty much blew up on him. So 6 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 home run allowed. He's got a 5.86 ERA. Hopefully that will be just getting better as we go along. Let me plug in his headset so I don't hear every dinging. Okay. Robinson Chirinos hit his 3rd home run of the season. That was the 3rd of his career off of Carrasco. And that pretty much opened it wide up. So the Astros beat the Indians 4-1 yesterday. Texas and Seattle. So Texas entered this series in Seattle on a 5-game losing streak. And they scored 17 runs in the first 5 games total of their road trip that they're currently on. And just in this weekend alone, they scored 29 runs on 37 hits in just 2 games. They just basically just unleashed every batter on Seattle this weekend. So Lance Lynn, he did good. He pitched 7 innings. They gave him a 5-0 lead in 2 innings. So he was good after that. He was good the whole time. But it's nice and comforting when you get run support early. So he walked 3 in the first couple innings, but he did tie a career high for 20 swing and misses in a start. 12 of those were on the 4-seam fastball and 9 called strikes on that pitch. So Lynn doing well. There was home runs from Elvis Andrus, Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence, what? I got a question yesterday about Hunter Pence. What should I do? How much should I spend on Hunter Pence? And I'm all for Hunter Pence doing well and continuing like his resurgence. But I'd be, cautiously optimistic here with this. But he hit a home run yesterday. Logan Forsythe hit a home run. Shin-Soo Choo hit a home run. And I already said Elvis Andrus. So yeah, the Seattle just got pummeled by Texas this weekend. Hopefully that doesn't ruin their great batting streak that they're on right now. Moving on, Quintana, the Cubbies in Arizona. The Cubbies beat the Diamondbacks 6-5. Quintana went 5 2/3, 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and he also allowed 2 home runs. But he's got a 3.48 ERA. And Weaver, on the other side of things, he pitched 4 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, and he also allowed 2 home runs, 3.73 ERA. David Bowe, so apparently this is what it said in MLB. It said there's an unnamed veteran who asked for the hot-hitting David Bote to be inserted in Sunday's lineup instead of himself. So obviously it's a current player for the Cubbies. He's going to be 38 years old next month, and he's been a Cubby for a long time. So anyway, he told, it's Ben Zobrist, he told Madden to keep him out and play David Bote because he's hitting so good. And so, okay, Joe Madden put Bote in the lineup, and then yesterday went into 15 innings, the game. So Ben Zobrist actually got in the game in the 11th. And he is the one that pretty much opened up that win for the Cubbies. He entered the 11th yesterday. He was 4 for his last 38 at bats. He got his first extra base hit of the season. It was a 2-run double in the top of the 15th. So he got to play too, and everybody got to play, and everybody was happy. Tyler Chatwood, he pitched 1 1/3 innings and got the win. They say that he might have hurt himself because he's running the bases. So all of you people out there who think that there should be a DH in the National League, this is just another justification for that. So he might be hurt. We don't know. Madden said he had a little thing with his leg. He felt something in his groin. So we'll have to see. He said he was fine after the game, but he didn't return to the mound. So who knows if he would have anyways. So Quintana is getting more swings and misses on his pitches than he ever did before. He's gone to his changeup 9.9% of the time, and his curveball he's using 25% of the time compared to 9% and 24.9% last season. So big deal. Like, what's the big difference? He's using his curveball 25% of the time. Last year he used it 24.9% of the time. To me, okay, that's the same thing. Same thing. His changeup, he's using it 9.9% of the time. Last year he used it 9% of the time. Nothing burger here. Same pitch mix in my opinion. Okay, maybe it's like a couple pitches or something. It's not that big of a difference. It's not like he's using it like 50% of the time when last year he used it 10% of the time. So whatever. He was up to 40% swinging strikes on his curveball and 43.5% on his changeup that was entering yesterday. He's also throwing a sinker almost as often as his four-seam fastball. His sinker 30.7% and his fastball 34.4%. His four-seamer used to account for almost half of his total usage, and now it's about a third. So there's a difference I can get on with, okay? I can at least accept that, appreciate it. Cubbies beat the Diamondbacks 6-5 in 15 innings. There you go for that game. Let me check on chat room since I can have it here on this beautiful computer of Lenny's. Quintana, improved execution. That's true. That's absolutely true. So it doesn't, I mean, I don't know how much it has to do with what type of pitches he's using, but obviously he's comfortable with whatever it is, and that's really the goal, right? Pittsburgh at Dodgers. So Pittsburgh has now lost 8 straight. The Dodgers have won 4 straight. The Dodgers are 12-4 at home, and they have a National League best 19-11 record overall. They went 11-9 through a 20-game stretch against the National League Central that began with a 6-game winning streak. They're 14-2 against Pittsburgh since 2017. So, yeah, they pretty much dominate Pittsburgh. Trevor Williams. Let me talk about Rich Hill first. He was activated and made his season debut yesterday. Rich Hill, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, but he allowed 2 home runs, even though he still has a 1.50 ERA. He retired 13 straight batters at one point, and even, like I say, 1 earned runs, he actually allowed 5 runs, but only one of them was earned, so that was a throwing error by Muncy. Then he hit a little bit, and everything was good over there. Everything was good for them. Rich Hill is the Dodgers' oldest pitcher. They started with him, and then they ended the game with their youngest pitcher, which is Julio Urias. Trevor Williams, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. He's got a 3.38 ERA on the season, which is pretty darn good. RBI singles by Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, and Bellinger, it's like, who's the other guy that's league leading in home runs? It just keeps going back and forth. Oh, Yelich. It's Yelich and Bellinger. Yelich and Bellinger. Yesterday, Bellinger took his place back as the league leader in home runs, 14th, and added 3 RBIs, and he also leads the league in RBIs now, too. So Yelich seems to have some back issues right now, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. Anyway, Bellinger leads the league in home runs, 14, leads the league in RBIs, 36. That's a shit ton of RBIs. Think about that. Multiply 36 by about 6, because the hitters now so far have had about 100 at-bats. And a full season of at-bats is about 600 nowadays. You could even say 5.5. But multiply 36 by 5.5 and tell me what you guys get. And that's what he's on pace for RBIs. That's a lot of RBIs. Anyway, we already talked about Muncy. He made that throwing error. It led to 4 unearned runs, and he also had 3 hits. Kenley Jansen pitched into and out of trouble for his 10th save. I said that they ended the game with their youngest pitcher, Julio Urias. It was his second multi-inning bullpen appearance since he was removed from the starting rotation. And the whole reason that he was removed from the rotation was to limit his innings. So he could be like a total effector, this guy, until he, gets stretched out, and it probably won't happen until next year. But for now, he's a bullpen guy, and I think it would be in everybody's best interest if they used him as an effector, because obviously they have a great closer, and their bullpen is excellent right now. So, anyways, he pitched 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and allowed a run. It seems like it was scored on an error, though. I don't know if it was his error or not. 36-year-old Russell Martin caught his first game since returning from his back injury. And let's see, that was their... No, that's stupid. Okay. Anyways, Rich Hill looked good. He looked very good. If you look at any kind of I always like to watch the game recaps on MLB, and then it gives you an idea of just how the pitchers actually looked, because you can only see so much, you can only understand so much from just listening to the box scores, like when Lenny or I do it, and reading it in the newspaper compared to actually watching a recap, and they don't take much of your time. So I do recommend everybody check those out when you can. You get all the good shit in about 5 minutes or less. And if you have extra time on your hands and you want to get the real intricacies of the game, they actually have a condensed game now for every game on MLB. And that one lasts about 10 to 12 minutes. So depends on how much. I usually end up falling asleep about 6 minutes through. So I'm good with the recap part of it. But okay. Cincinnati at St. Louis. St. Louis doing well. They have 9 wins in the last 12 games. The best record in the National League. Didn't I just say the Dodgers had the best record in the National League? Or... let's see. I'm really intrigued by this. I don't know. I said they're doing something, and that okay, whatever. Don't get sidetracked, dumbass. Okay? Don't get sidetracked. Anyway, it says St. Louis, 9 wins in the last 12 games. The best record in the National League. Harrison Bader came off the IL on Wednesday. Tyler O'Neill came off the IL on Friday. Neither one of them have played in a game since. And they have right now chosen to go with the outfield threesome of Ozuna, Fowler, and Jose Martinez, which Jose Martinez hits. We all know he hits, but he doesn't do defense well. So the fact that a National League team signed him to an extension was mind-boggling to begin with, but now they're playing him. And I think that part of the reason that they're playing him is because they feel like Fowler, going back to center field, covers enough ground to make up for the shortcoming of Jose Martinez as far as his defense goes, because he's absolutely forced to be reckoned with in the lineup. And they're doing what they can to keep him in there. So, I mean, pick him up. Why not? He's playing every day. They have proven that they want to keep playing him because, like I said, Harrison Bader and Tyler O'Neill both came off the IL and neither one of them were playing. They like to be able to use them. The manager said that he likes to be able to use those guys and have them as backup for pinch runners or whatever reason. But Jose Martinez is playing every day right now. He probably won't play every day moving forward. But it seems like to me that he's going to get a good chunk of playing time. So there you go. Sonny Gray, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 3.64 ERA for Sonny Gray. Much better than he was doing when he pitched for the Yankees, the Spankies. Flaherty had a good game. Very pleased about that because he did not start the season good. 7 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4.00 ERA. Go Flaherty. He's 3-1, but he wasn't looking that good. So don't let the record fool you here. He wasn't pitching well. The Angels beat Kansas City 7-3. They've won 2 of 3 and they won 2 of 3 to Kansas City, and now they're going home to face Toronto. This week their youngster, Griffin Canning, is going to make his debut on Tuesday, tomorrow. Albert Pujols is within 3 RBIs of the 2,000 RBI milestone, which is huge for him. Yesterday, he passed up Babe Ruth, I believe, for something. I should know that. I feel like I'm disrespecting Albert Pujols for not knowing exactly what he did yesterday, but he's Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. And so the Angels have a lot to look forward to this week. There's 3 RBIs he needs to make 2,000 RBIs. Mike Trout has reached base 26 times, 26 games in a row. He's reached base. So he's trying to tie Darren Erstad's 27-game mark tomorrow. So it looks like they don't have a game today. And also, Matt Harvey. What's up with Matt Harvey? He's pitching well. Yesterday went 7 innings, only allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3, struck out 5. His ERA is at 6.54, but still, it was a season-high 7 innings for him, so that's one positive. Only 2 hits, that's a positive. He threw a season-high 95 pitches and then turned it over to the bullpen with a 3-run lead. So go Matt Harvey. Yeah, LA is a dangerous place for a guy like Matt Harvey, right? Or maybe he just learned his lesson living in New York and having all the drama, and his drinking and partying and all this. Maybe he just matured and maybe he just grew out of that. But if I was LA, I probably would be hesitant of signing him because LA is just as dangerous as New York, if not more so. Homer Bailey, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 5.70 ERA. Okay? He sucks. You don't name your kid Homer if he's going to be a pitcher. Okay? You don't name him Homer. Reynaldo Lopez, let's talk about him. Detroit, the White Sox beat the Tigers 4-1. Reynaldo Lopez, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, of course, because you can't get through a Reynaldo Lopez start without a few walks. 14 strikeouts, though. That's the big news of the day. And the White Sox pitcher is 20 strikeouts. That's pretty big. That's the Major League team record for 9 innings. It's the 7th time a team has reached 20 strikeouts. And the 3rd since 2016. So, leave it to the White Sox, right? Me and that guy will be on talking White Sox tonight at 8 o'clock. And I just remembered that because we missed our show last week. I wasn't feeling very good. Anyway, let's go through the rundown. Today we have Lenny's Daily Podcast. That's me. And then we usually have DFS Hangover from First Pitch. That's at 11. And then we have the Sports Buffet. Lou and Ron are coming on early today, so that's at 1 o'clock. Lucky for you guys. And then we have Drop the Mic. He'll be on at 3. Roto Imbeciles with George at 7. And then me and that guy at 8. And we don't have any kind of show waiting for us to get done at 9, so we could probably talk all day about the White Sox or whatever we want. And then at 11, we have Dan and Fantasy Fisticuff. Just checking the chat room here. Lots of chat going on, which makes me pleased. Glad you guys are entertained. And did I call Lenny last week when I was sick? Oh, believe me, he knew. Believe me. He knew. He didn't need it. But everybody should call. If you read the handbook, we put the handbook out. Everybody, we're trying to just improve all the time. That's what we really want, mostly, just to improve. Everybody does things at a different level, and I really just am of the mindset that if you're not improving, then if you're not with me, you're against me, basically. Okay? If you're not improving, you're not getting better, and then what's the point? So that's the point of the podcast handbook. And I hope everybody has been able to download Spreaker because we are moving over to that. Everybody will get their own show page. It's exciting. You guys probably don't give a shit about this, but it's a lot of work, and it's really nice to see just some of my behind the scenes work come into fruition. So thanks for everybody involved, and We really appreciate having all these wonderful people doing podcasts, and we look forward to much more. Now, back to the action. Okay. Lopez, 24 swinging strikes. Okay, that was a new personal high. I would guess that, yeah. His prior high was 17, and that was in September of 2018. His 14 strikeouts tied for 8th most in franchise history. Guess who did it most recently? And this was in 2016. Guess who struck out 14 in a start on, no, I'm not going to tell you the date, in 2016. I'll tell you it was against Seattle. That's the trivia, number one trivia. Okay, so all but one of Lopez's strikeouts came on four-seam fastballs. He's the third pitcher in the pitch tracking era, which is 2008, to record 13 strikeouts on four-seamers in one game. All but one of his strikeouts came on, I already just said that, so let's not read that again. Miguel Cabrera, he struck out 3 times against Lopez. He was bragging about saying how good Lopez looked. I guess that's kind of what you have to say when the guy strikes you out 3 times in a game. So, yeah. Matthew Boyd, 6 innings, 5 hits, only 2 earned runs, though. A walk and 9 strikeouts. That's positive. He's got an ERA of 3.13. So, Colomé got his 5th save. The Twins beat the Orioles. They just did, they pulled a Texas on the Orioles. The Twins hit 12 home runs this weekend, including 5 each on Friday and Saturday. It is the most home runs in a 3-game series against any opponent in Twins history. They won 7 of their last 9 games. They have a record of 16-9, the second best winning percentage in baseball, behind only one team. I'll let you play a game with that too and guess. I'm sure that's easy to look up. But anyway, it's the Rays. They have the second best winning percentage in baseball, right behind the Rays. And it's the most home runs the Twins have hit in a season against Baltimore. The previous record, so they've hit now because it wasn't just this weekend. They actually are done for the season against the Orioles. The Twins do not have to face the Orioles anymore this season. They did a season sweep. They hit 20. I have no idea how many they hit because right now it says that the previous record of 22 had been reached twice, in 1962 and 1964. Okay. But I only knew of 21 that was entering yesterday's games. They had hit 21 home runs against Baltimore, so however many home runs happened yesterday, that's how many they had for the season. So you got to love Max Kepler right now. You just got to love it. He hit a home run in all of the 3 games. His 4 home runs against the Orioles were the most in a 3-game series by a Twins hitter since somebody did it against the Royals in 2016. Which Twins hitter went yard 4 times in a 3-game series before Kepler did it this weekend? That was in 2016, so it's a second baseman. The Twins have 49 homers. I hope you guys remember. Well, it's documented, so you don't have to remember. But my bold prediction of the year, easy. I know you love these bold predictions. I said that the Twins are capable of hitting more home runs than the Yankees. And that sounded kind of like a bold prediction at the time because, we all know Stanton and Judge and Gary Sanchez, and all these hitters. The lineup is stacked in New York. But I think that the Twins lineup is just as stacked. And the addition of Scope and all of these things, they just added Nelson Cruz. Their lineup is a nightmare to face as a pitcher. Max Kepler's leading off, and he's hitting bombs. And we knew going into the season, he gets better every year, right? He does get better every year. The exit velocity on his bat, on his hit balls is super high. So we know he hits the ball hard. But he's exceeding expectations for sure. So the Twins have hit 49 home runs in their first 25 games. That's the most in franchise history. They also entered yesterday having collected extra bases on a major league leading 47.1% of their hits are extra base hits. After hitting 2 doubles and 2 homers on Sunday, the Twins totaled 38 extra base hits against the Orioles, and the Orioles had 16 against the Twins. Buxton, woo-woo, hit his first homer of the season. And like I told you about Kepler, but I wanted to just throw in here that he hit a home run on the very first pitch of the game, which is always a good thing. When your leadoff batter comes out, and as a manager, I would probably cringe watching my hitter swing at the first pitch. It's nice when you connect with it and make it a home run. But I can't imagine any manager just going out there and saying, okay, just swing at the first pitch. I don't know. You tell me. Is that normal? When I played, which was obviously not anything close to MLB, but our coach used to always make us get a strike before we swing the bat. 1 strike called before you swing the bat. I'm sure that was to just protect the team from bad hitting, play discipline and stuff. It's not like the MLB, but I don't know. Swinging at the first pitch is always risky. Kepler hit it out of the park. Gibson, he pitched 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, allowed a home run, and he has a 4.88 ERA. And Bundy, good old Bundy, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. 6.67 ERA. I don't know why you own Bundy, but you should probably get him off your roster the soonest you can. The Nationals avoided getting swept, and they snapped a 3-game losing streak. All 3 of their youngsters, Carter, Kieboom, Soto, and Robles, all hit home runs. And so San Diego scored a run in the first, then they scored a run in the second, and then they scored 4 runs in the third. And Washington didn't even score till the third, but they scored 4 runs in the third, a run in the fourth, and a run in the fifth. That's really weird. It says Washington, 4 runs in the third, that's 4. A run in the fourth, that's 5. And a run in the sixth, that's only 6 runs. But they beat the Padres 7-6. So how the hell is that possible? How is that possible? It went into 10 innings. Maybe that's weird. Okay. I don't get how that's possible. How is it possible for it to show... One second. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you this. Just give me a second. We're having a break. Commercial timeout. Okay, here it comes. Check this out. That's weird. It went into 11 innings, but how do they get 7 runs? I just don't get it. They put, in the 11th inning, they scored a run. That is where it makes sense. Maybe I copied this score. Maybe I was doing the box scores before the game actually ended. Hello. So you just swing hello? Hello. Hi. That makes sense now. Okay, it went 11 innings, so I just must have got this. Anyway, going back. The Washington Nationals fell behind 6-0. What the hell? Yeah, 6-0 in the third inning. 8 shutout innings from their bullpen, which that bullpen has been absolutely horrible going into yesterday. The relievers began the day with a 7.34 ERA, and that was easily the highest of any bullpen in major leagues. Sean Doolittle, he was unavailable after pitching in back-to-back games, which makes no sense to me because we just have a bunch of wussy pitchers. But the bullpen allowed 5 hits and 3 walks, struck out 10. Eric Fetty was called up from Double-A. They called him up He got up at 3 in the morning, got a flight, the very first one from Connecticut to Washington, D.C., landed at 7 a.m., and then he tossed 4 shutout innings yesterday in the game. He said he got a little nap beforehand, so that's good. But he used sinkers and sliders, and he looked pretty good. Lucchesi, 4 innings, 9 hits. No bueno. 4 earned runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. 4.94 ERA is what Lucchesi's working with. And Hellickson, he also gave up 2 home runs, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, and a 5.82 ERA for Hellickson. Moving on here, moving right along to Colorado and Atlanta. The Braves prevented a 3-game series sweep. They beat the Rockies 8-7 in a comeback win. Tyler Anderson, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So that kind of makes up for all the damage, but 3 home runs allowed. He's got an 11.34 ERA, and Gausman, don't trust Gausman. I would say get rid of him too. He pitched 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a home run allowed, and a 4.80 ERA. Donaldson, he hit a 2-out, go-ahead homer in the 8th inning. 3 of his 5 home runs over the past 7 games, okay? 3 of his total 5 on the season have been hit over the past 7 games. He entered yesterday with the 12th best hard hit percentage in the baseball, and that's every ball hit with an exit velocity of 95 miles per hour or more is considered a hard hit. So remember that. It's hard hit if it leaves the batter's bat at 95 miles an hour or more. Let's see. We have a 3-run first inning. That was Ozzie Albies doing a home run in the first of his 2 home runs, yesterday. And a home run from Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, another one, he's reached base safely in each of the club's first 27 games, which is matching Atlanta record, the season opening Atlanta record, which J.D. Drew set in 2004. Luke Jackson, relievers, made 12 consecutive scoreless appearances. And what is this on Twitter? Fernando Tatis, yes, did you guys see that nasty? It looked nastier than it is, I'm pretty sure. I do not, because he was able to, yes, Meckard, right. Because he was able to walk off the field on his own, it made a big difference, in how I looked at that injury. So don't get all crazy here. The guy can walk. So that's a positive. And your boy Fernando Tatis will be back. Him and his 5 tools and his extra tool of strikeout percentage rate at 30%. Sorry, I always have to be like negative Nancy, but just saying. I mean, Fernando Tatis is excellent right now. And of course, I'm all for what the Padres are doing. I wish he would nudge his buddy Franmil, so his buddy Franmil would start hitting, because Franmil is not this bad of a hitter. But okay, I'm going back. Milwaukee at the New York Mets. Gio Gonzalez is now a pitcher again in Milwaukee for Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, I was surprised that the Yankees signed Gio in the first place, and I was really surprised when I found out that they weren't even considering using him as a starter. It's like, why bother? Did you just sign this guy so nobody else could have him? Is that your deal, or what are you doing? Yankees, I think they signed him for insurance purposes. I don't really blame them that much, but still, Gio Gonzalez should obviously be out on the mound for somebody. Now he's out on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. Feel free to pick him up. Yesterday he pitched 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Okay, that's his season debut going on. Steven Matz, he pitched 7 innings. That's pretty good. He didn't even give up a run. I mean, he didn't allow a run until the 7th inning. So he did pitch 7. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, a home run allowed in the 7th, and a 3.68 ERA on the season. So Yuri's Familia threw 21 pitches on Saturday night. So instead of using him in the setup spot they turned to Seth Lugo, who had not pitched since Wednesday, but he straight up just struck out the side in quickness. Manny Pena, Orlando Arcia, and Travis Shaw. Bam, 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 3 up, 3 down. He's got a 2.08 ERA and a 35% strikeout rate in his last 8 games, in his last 8 appearances. So, I mean, but, you know, they're not going to, get rid of Familia. He's obviously the 8th inning guy. He's a good pitcher on a crappy streak right now. He's got a 6-something ERA. But management says we're not taking him out of the role. We do feel like he's going to rebound from his own struggles. And I also think they just like having Lugo in a more flexible spot, just to be able to be the effector or whatever. They designated Travis d'Arnaud for assignment and called up Thomas Nido before the game. Nido, I don't know how to say his name. I didn't update my knowledge here on this, but Nido, he's the backup catcher. That's just weird. I thought Travis d'Arnaud went to Texas. Maybe not. Whatever. Oakland, Toronto. Nobody gives a shit about Travis, okay? That's what I have to say. Nobody cares. Unless he's Travis Shaw. And then you just wonder why he's such a crappy addition to your fantasy team right now. Although he does hit homers, and that's the only reason he's still in my lineup. Okay, moving on. Oakland, Toronto. Toronto, that's their 7th come-behind win this season, and the 2nd series sweep, both versus Oakland. So they've swept Oakland twice. They've won all 6 games on the season, and it's the 3rd time in franchise history that the Blue Jays have swept a season series of 6 or more games. They have received 3 consecutive starts of at least 5 innings with 0 or 1 earned run and 2 or fewer hits allowed. That's good for their starting pitchers. Who would have thunk it, right? Toronto entered the bottom of the 11th inning trailing by 3. In the 11th inning, they were trailing by 3. The fans were leaving the stadium, basically just flooding the exit. And then here comes your boy, Lewis, Brandon Drury. Lewis's boy. Okay. He gets a home run, a 3-run home run. It was the first extra innings home run of Brandon Drury's career. And then Justin Smoke got a walk-off single. That was even against Blake Trinan, too. So that's pretty impressive. And Drury, okay, you want to hear the positive? He's batting .500 versus Oakland this season. He's 12 for 24 against Oakland. But against everybody else, he's hitting .125. He's 9 for 72 against every other pitcher. So don't think for a second that just because he did that he is worth putting into that trade that I so humbly blasted you about on Twitter and Facebook, on social media. Okay. All right. Bassett, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, a home run allowed, and a .75 ERA. Thornton on the other side, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks. 5 walks. 5 walks, 5 innings. That's good. 7 strikeouts and a .508 ERA. He needed 103 pitches to get through 5 innings. Yeah, he hasn't completed 6 innings in any of his 6 starts. So that's because he can't. That's because he needs to stop throwing so many pitches. Okay? The next game, I guess it would be boring because nobody hit a home run in this game. Miami, Philly. Phillies at Miami. Phillies beat the Marlins 5-1. Oh, well, Eflin got a complete game. First complete game for the Phillies since 2017. Rhys Hoskins, he immediately got a double to score a run in the first inning. And Segura, which I'm sure for all Segura owners are happy to see his name in the box scores today, that he did something like tripled and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Bryce Harper also got an RBI. It's not sacrifice, it was a ground out. But he's got 20 RBIs this season. And Hoskins has 23 RBIs. Maikel Franco, the boy, just undervalued, underacknowledged, under everything. 22 RBIs. And the three of them, Hoskins, Franco, and Harper, are the first trio in Phillies history to have 20 or more RBIs before May. Oh, I'm so glad I brought my coffee. All right, Eflin needed just 8 pitches to finish the 9th inning. Third career complete game. I didn't tell you what he did. 7 hits, 1 run, struck out 3. He only needed 107 pitches to get through all 9 innings, and he threw 77 strikes out of 107 pitches. And that's a lot of strikes. So he was just basically just pounding the strike zone. And when batters made contact, it was really weak contact. The average exit velocity was 84.2 miles per hour. And I found out an interesting little tidbit because Real Muto plays for Philly now as the catcher, but Andrew Knapp is their backup catcher, and he was in yesterday giving Real Muto a break. And Andrew Knapp's been catching for Eflin since Double-A, which is pretty cool. They have a good relationship. And so what happened yesterday, it makes it that much better, just because the relationship between a catcher and a pitcher, it just has so much more impact on the game than we're willing to pay attention to, Like, you can't count that in fantasy, but we all know it's there. Definitely there. You just get a sense of security when you have a catcher back there that understands how you pitch, doesn't take it personal if you want to, shrug him off or change it up. I just think that's pretty cool. So they interviewed Andrew Knapp after the game, and he just said that, I've been catching him since Double-A, so it was super exciting for him. Anyway, Cesar Hernandez, Kapler discussed Cesar Hernandez a little bit, said that he's just not seeing the ball well. Basically, that all the hitters in baseball go through slumps of like 10 or 15 games where they just can't see the ball very good. And he really feels like that's what's happening with Cesar Hernandez. And the most important part about that, I'll just say, is that Kapler is not moving Cesar Hernandez out of that spot. He just doesn't have his rhythm. He's struggling through a tough time, but he's said that he's sticking with Cesar Hernandez, and he has no possibility of losing his job at this point. Segura, I told you, went 3 for 4 with a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Oh, God, he got hit in the head with a pitch on Saturday. So that was his 9th multi-hit game of the season. Tampa Bay and Boston. Is this my last game? This is my last game. Whoop-de-freaking-do. It's 9:54, people. I'm great on time. Perfecto, amigo. Amigas. Whatever. You're not a bunch of girls, but amiga, amigo. We're not sexist here, okay? There's no bias here. The Rays, they've outscored their opponents 28-4 in the first inning. 28-4 in the first inning. Nothing like taking the lead early, right? Glass now outpitched Sale. But, okay, there's a positive side of this. And even though you look at Sale's record and you see 0-5, and then you question, what the hell were you thinking trading for him? And I just say, I don't care if he goes 0-29. I still am not going to regret making that trade, because you have to grade your trades based on reason and logic and the best projection that you have available to you at the time. And not all things, no. How about this? Most things don't really work out how we project them to. But I have to say it was a little discouraging to see a 0-5 next to his name. But I'm not going to cry here, because it's no crying in baseball, There's no crying in this bitch. I put explicit language warning on this podcast, so I can curse up a storm if I want, but I'm not in the mood to do that. But I do like to throw in a curse word every now and then. Glass now is 5-0. 6 2/3, 9 strikeouts. Movement, that's what I can say when I watch the recap of that game. Movement. Look at his pitches. It's like they go straight in there and then they just drop. It just goes straight in, it just drops. The movement on Glass now's pitches is worth a gander. Go check it out. A gander. Worth a look. He struck out 9. That was his second most of the season, and he basically just rolled right through 5 scoreless innings against the Red Sox. He's the second pitcher in franchise history to record 5 wins by the end of April. Who did it last? That's the trivia genius of the day. In 2013. 5 wins by the end of April. 1.75 ERA. That is the Rays' all-time third lowest ERA in the month. And the third lowest. So there's 2 other guys that had better ERA in the month of April. One of them is the same guy that had the 5 wins. And the other one is Chris Archer. Daniel Robinson, first inning, 2-run homer, straight up, off a sail. He has 7 RBIs in the last 8 games, and that was his first home run since last July. Yandy Diaz, a 2-run triple in the second, and Rafael Devers, dude, this guy not only stinks at the plate, but he's stinking in the field. His error yesterday led to 2 runs. And, I mean, look, Devers is making Devers, whatever, dude. He is making errors. He can't hit worth a shit. Boston is no good. And that's all there is to it. JD Martinez didn't even play. He's scratched from Saturday's game. Scratched from yesterday's game. Who knows if he'll play when they have their next game. But he's got back spasms. So that's... I hate leaving on a horrible note. I do. I'd like to leave on some positive stuff to get you going through your day. How about this one? Pedroia, he's going to begin a rehab assignment later this week. So there you go. There's your positivity of the week. Thanks, everybody. I'm perfect on timing today. Enjoy your Monday. I hope it's beautiful and bright. Today is sunny here in New York for one of the first times since, I don't know. But it's very nice to see summer on the way. Socks are tossing in the towel. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being patient. Love y'all. Talk later. If you need help with Spreaker, I'm your lady. Happy to help you. Okay, bye.